In the past couple of months, Russia has been showing quite a lot of important changes to their tanks, which mainly have to do with the protection. The most notable thing is the new Arena M hard kill active protection system they briefly covered before, but now we have a lot more information about this system, which I would really like to talk about. Some months ago I talked about how the patent and an order for T90M tanks equipped with the Arena M system appeared, but not too long ago Russians finally showed the tank in all of its glory with the new hard kill active protection system with some obvious changes from the original patent I already covered. First, we need to address the point about drones. Some people have been saying, based on some unconfirmed sources, that the Arena M is optimized to deal with the FPV drones. But there is absolutely no evidence to support this claim, and the only source for this information is a quote from the general designer of the Enterprise, Valery Kashin, stating that they are currently working to improve the complex for protection against FPV drones, which dates back to February 2024. So some people just assumed that such changes did take place, but again, there is no evidence to confirm that. It would be very hard to do something like that, because protecting against drones is completely different than protecting against rockets and missiles, since those are completely different kinds of threats that are different sizes and velocities. If we look at the patent and the actual tank, we will notice a bit of differences. The most notable difference is the placement of the smoke launchers. On the patent, we can see that they are pretty much in the same place as on any other T90M tank. But on the video and the pictures of the tank with the system, we can see that the smoke launchers have been moved on top of the turret's roof. On the right side, they are placed on top of the commander's hatch. Well, top front, and they still do not block the visibility or the hatch itself from being opened. So the placement is not bad. And on the left side, they are placed next to the main gun sight. The reason why they did this might have to do with the fact that, after some testing, they concluded that the launchers could either be blocking the system from successfully intercepting threats or were getting damaged by something. I don't know. Another difference is the placement of the radars. While it appears to be the same on the front, on the sides and the rear it is different. If we look at the sides, we can see that, unlike the patent, there appear to be radars present there, which could also be the reason why the smoke launchers have been moved, since perhaps extra space needed to be made there. On the rear, we can see that the big box from the patent has been replaced by a smaller mount for the radars, which appear to be more exposed, which is not that big of an issue considering that they are exposed on the other places as well. Now, the most important update about the Arena that I honestly did not expect to see is an actual confirmation that it can deal with top attack munitions like Javelin. Not too long ago, Russian Defense Corporation, Rosobrony Export, released a video of test footage of Arena M against the Javelin missile, where we can see it successfully intercepting and neutralizing the missile. We know it's a Javelin missile because of the overall shape, looks, the wings on the missile, and everything perfectly matches the Javelin. This is extremely important because it was previously believed that Russia's Arena M active protection system is incapable of intercepting such threats, because the only test footage we have ever seen was against RPG rockets, which obviously is completely different than protecting against top attack missiles like Javelin. On top of T90M tanks receiving the new Arena M system, it appears that T-72B3 tanks will also be equipped with it. But it isn't clear what the production rate will be, how many tanks they plan to equip with the system, and if they are planning to deploy it in Ukraine. Which brings us to the next point. There has been this picture floating around, which made some people believe that the tanks equipped with the hard kill system have already been deployed in Ukraine. But that is most likely not the case. What is more likely to be the case here is that this picture has been taken on some training grounds, just like the T-14 Armata picture that made a lot of people believe that the tank has been deployed. Next big thing is the news about the new T90 variant, T90M2, being in development. And one of the main improvements over T90M is the improvement to the reverse speed. As most of you know, Russian tanks like T90 and T-72 have very poor reverse speed of around 4 km per hour, which is obviously very slow and has led to some tanks getting damaged or destroyed because they have to turn around and expose their weak rear armor if they want to retreat. The plan for T90M2 is to have a reverser which would allow the tank to have the same amount of gears in reverse as it does forward, theoretically allowing it to reach 60 km per hour in reverse. This is nothing new, and Russians have already done that on the T-14 Armata, and the Ukrainian T-84 and BM Opel tanks already have this feature. And it is possible that if this does end up happening, that the maximum reverse speed on the T90M2 would, just like on the T-84, be limited to a certain extent, since on the T-84 it is limited to 35 km per hour in reverse to prevent accidents from happening in the higher speeds. It is strange to me that it took them this long to start developing a solution for the reverse speed, since it has been a well-known issue for a while. But if they do end up doing that, it would seriously make the T90M2, together with the Arena M system, a formidable tank. The last but not the least, it appears that the T-72B3 tanks have started receiving Relic ERA on the frontal arc of the hull protection. Previously, they were equipped with Contact 5 ERA, which, unlike Relic, is not optimized to protect against tandem-shaped charges, and overall offers less protection against other types of threats. But unlike the T-90M, the turret seems to be still equipped with Contact 5 ERA, which still has some gaps which can be exploited, but this is the step in the right direction nevertheless. At the end of the day, all of these are important changes only if actually implemented. As some of you might know, these aren't the freshest news. It's been a month or two since this stuff has been announced, and no updates have been given since then. Of course, I did not cover them before because, as many of you noticed, I was away. As to why, well, I just wanted a break. Don't worry, nothing terrible happened. I just wanted to spend more time focusing on some other stuff. Funny thing is that I saw some people speculating if I got drafted to go and fight, but no, don't worry. I'm not from any of the countries involved in the conflict, so why would I be drafted? So, as I said, don't worry, I just wanted a break. That is all. Well, that would be it for now. If you like my content, you can support me on Patreon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a nice day.